Welcome to the New Orleans Saints pregame report. I'm John DeShazier, and we are here at Nissan Stadium in Nashville, Tennessee, where the Saints continue their chase for the number 1 or 2 seed in the NFC. Obviously didn't receive any help from the Rams last night, but the Saints have their fate in their own hands. They're 11-3, the Titans are 8-6, and the Saints have an opportunity to at least keep step with that play for the number 1 or number 2 seed. Now the Saints here and picturesque in Nissan Stadium, as we said, weather 50 degrees or so, 50% chance of rain, so it won't be excellent weather for the Saints, but it is football weather, and they like that. The only thing, the field conditions, something to monitor. It might be a little bit slippery out here. The Saints players probably will have to wear screw-in spikes. They don't like those, but that's probably going to help them the most with their footing. We'll see how that goes as the day goes along, and the field probably deteriorates a little bit more as they play on this surface. Now, offensively, we jump right into it because the Saints have been outstanding lately. The last 2 games, 46 points against San Francisco, 34 points against the Indianapolis Colts. That's a 40-point per game average. And over the last 5 games, they're averaging 34.8 points per game. So the Saints really have it going offensively. However, Drew Brees, who has 9 touchdowns and no interceptions in the last 2 games, feels like there's a lot more to be accomplished by this offense.
I mean, listen, that was a pretty efficient game on Monday night, right? I felt like we were hitting on all cylinders, both in the run game and the pass game. Of course, there's still some meat left on the bone, so to speak. And listen, every game's a little different, right? You know, you don't know what opportunities are gonna be there. You know, you want to try to execute to perfection, and then take advantage of those opportunities when they do arise. But at the end of the day, I think you want to look at your run game and say, hey, you know, we're getting a hat on the hat, or, you know, when we're not, you know, we're putting our backs in favorable positions to get extra yardage. In the pass game, we're efficient. We're taking what they give us. Hey, when we get big play opportunities, you know, we're making the most of them. And then obviously we're staying on the field, we're sustaining drives, and we're scoring points.
Now, I mentioned how great Drew Brees has been this season, and listen to these numbers: 75.8% completions, 21 touchdowns, only 4 interceptions. And as good as he has been and as impressive as he has been, the offensive line hadn't been any slouch in that department, despite the turnover in players. Now, we've seen left tackle Teron Armstead miss a game. We've seen left guard Andrew Peat miss several games. And today, right guard Larry Warford will be out. However, Nick Easton and Patrick Omameh and Will Clapp have all filled in admirably along that offensive line. And Brees knows that those guys have been critical to what this team has done offensively.
It's a credit to getting the right type of guys, you know, and guys that have the ability to step in and, you know, play multiple positions. You know, I mean, we've been in that situation too where, listen, Andrew Peat, you know, throughout his career, you know, yeah, now he's our staple at left guard, but man, he's had to bounce out and play left tackle, you know, on a bunch of occasions, right? I think Ramczyk started out playing left tackle because Teron was down his rookie year, and then he bounced over to right guard when Streif got hurt. And so, you know, you just keep having those guys. Nick Easton, obviously, has been a guy who's plugged in and done a great job. Will Clapp, you know, Omameh, I mean, you know, you name it, all these guys, it's kind of like, hey, wherever I'm needed, you know, jump in and do that. So the versatility, you know, the ability to play multiple positions on the offensive line, obviously that's a skill, right? I mean, that's a trait that if a guy has, that becomes very valuable because you just never know how it's going to shake out throughout the course of a game. But, man, those guys have been able to plug and play and do a great job.
Now, with the Saints offense, we remain on NFL record alert. Drew Brees finished out the last game with 22 consecutive completions. If he has 4 more today, that will be a new NFL record, 26 consecutive completions. Also, Michael Thomas, watch him, 133 receptions. The record is 143 for a single season. That's Marvin Harrison back in 2002, and he's right on the cusp of it. He's had 6 games of 10 or more receptions, 8 games of 10 or more receptions. So he's right in his wheelhouse, Michael Thomas is. Now we shift to the defense for the Saints because Tennessee has been hot offensively. They're 6-2 with Ryan Tannehill at quarterback. Tannehill has 17 touchdowns, only 6 interceptions, and he's completing 72% of his passing. So he's really getting this offense in order. However, They are missing Derrick Henry today, the running back. Henry, the second leading rusher in the NFL with 1,329 yards. He also has 13 touchdowns on 271 carries. So Derrick Henry's been a huge part of what they do. Look for Deion Jordan to substitute in for him at running back. But the Saints know whether Henry is in or not, this is going to be a dangerous offense to deal with.
It's important every week, but, a ball carrier like him, it's not a lot of times you see him going down just one-on-one. Also they got a good 1-2 punch. Deion Lewis coming in behind him has been a good back in this league. So it's not like you just, take a down off when he's not in. It's just going to be constant all game. And they do a lot of things well. Like, they run the ball effectively. They do a good job of managing first and second down, creating third and favorable positions. They got, a lot of ways to attack you through the air, different ways to attack you on the ground. They're a good football team and got the people to get the job done.
Good thing for the Saints is they bounced back defensively. They only allow 91 rushing yards per game. That's fourth least in the league, and they'll need that kind of effort coming in. Now, they didn't have the kind of game they wanted to against San Francisco. Allowed 48 points, more than 500 yards, and 160-plus rushing yards. So this defense really wanted to get back into the groove. And linebacker A.J. Klein says he believes they did exactly that against the Colts.
Well, I think it was important for us to get back on track. I think defensively we definitely it helps us get back into a swing of things, and nobody wants to lose back-to-back games. And I think around here there's some stat that we haven't lost back-to-back games since 17 or something like that. But for us to a little wake-up call, get back to square one, focus on ourselves, and really start to hunker down, because this isn't an easy stretch. Titans are a really good football team, and Carolina is still a good football team. And we don't want to look too far ahead into the playoffs. We want to just obviously improve from last week. Even though we did have a good week, there's definitely some things that we can improve on. So week to week and not get too far ahead of ourselves.
You already know the Saints had 7 players named to the NFC Pro Bowl team. 2 of those guys are special teamers, both of them first-timers. One, rookie returner Deontay Harris, who has a punt return for a touchdown, and also the other, kicker Will Lutz, who's 31 of 35 this season with a couple of walk-off field goals as time expired to give the Saints a couple of their victories. Will Lutz, extremely emotional and very, very grateful to make the NFC Pro Bowl team.
I'm not an emotional person, and I broke down for a minute. It's just, everything you've dreamed of, and all this work you've put into this career, and you're getting recognized by coaches and peers. It's not, the fan vote's great. We have great fans, and obviously I won the fan vote, and that's awesome. But you're getting the respect from your fellow players and these coaches throughout the league, and it's just such an honor.
Another thing to focus on with the Saints special teams this season: 4 blocked or deflected punts by this Saints team by 4 different players. One of those guys, Taysom Hill, tells you how the Saints have been able to really focus in on blocking punts this season.
Those are really big plays, obviously, and I think you see the energy, and I think because they don't happen very often, they don't happen very regularly, when they do happen, it's a big emotional, shift, and everyone's excited, and then, needless to say, it's typically, field position is changed, and so now your entire offense is open up, and, you have all the momentum.
Well, that's going to wrap it up for here at Nissan Stadium. I'm John DeShazier. Continue to watch this game locally back home on television. That's WVUE Fox 8. Also listen on your radio, WWL 870 AM. That's Zach Streif and Deuce McAllister on the call. And for all your post-game, check out NewOrleansSaints.com. Myself, Caroline Gonzalez, and Mike Haas will give you highlights. We'll give you news, post-game news conferences from Coach Sean Payton and Drew Brees, as well as all the statistics from this game. Again, I'm John DeShazier. Have a great Sunday and Merry Christmas to you.